macaronis to share first with their partner something that a good listener does. Stars.
What a good listener does is that they sit quietly and listen to them and look them directly in the eye. They would away across the room when they're at their seat, and they sit up straight and talk in place, and they don't like people that you're bored. If they're bored, they just still listen. So if they're bored, say right here.
I should see everybody's eyes on me. Awesome. Who wants to share with the class something that a good listener does? TJ.
A good listener listens to the teacher, and when it's time to talk to another person, you look at them in the eye and listen.
Very good. TJ mentioned making eye contact to let the person know you're listening to them. Can anybody else share something that a good listener does? Izzy. They don't squirm around. Very good. I'm going to let one more person share. How about Miguel?
A good listener does not blurt out to the teacher.
Does not blurt out. Perfect. I also want to talk to you guys about what good speakers do. Something that a good speaker does is they speak loud and clear. Say loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Now, if I'm talking to Kenzie and I'm talking like this, and I'm talking really quiet and mumbling, and TJ can't hear me, is that loud and clear?
No.
No. Somebody give me an example of speaking loud and clear. I'm going to choose Peyton because she's all the way in the back.
Like, you can speak like this.
Very good. Could everybody hear Peyton?
Yes.
Was that loud and clear?
Yes.
Somebody give me an example of something that is not loud and clear. How about Cora? Can everybody hear her?
No.
Yeah. Well, you could, but it was not loud and clear. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is if you're reading and you get to a word and you don't know how to say it or you don't know what it means, who has been reading their books and has come across a word that they just don't know? You don't know how to say it, you don't know what it means, you've never seen it before. Give me a thumbs up if that's happened to you. I want you to turn and talk with a partner about what you did, and Cheeses can share first.
Well, it wasn't like a word to find a let me get this straight. You want a book that says No, it's just different. That was the reason I didn't even know that was it. Even the book, it was like contracting. I didn't know that word, and I was like, fine. Mad at that kid for telling their mom.
Very good. Who wants to share with the class something you did when you came across a word that you just didn't know? Skyly.
I got to a word, and so I read till the period, and then I went back, and that information it gave me, I figured out what the word was.
Very good. So Skyly said she kept reading until she got to the end of this sentence, and then she was able to figure out what the word meant. You guys, that is using context clues. That's reading around the word and figuring out what it means. I want you guys to try this example. Can you read this sentence for me, Izzy? It's a tricky word, huh? Her jokes were what? This word is hilarious. How many of you guys know what hilarious means? Is there anybody who has never heard of that word? there are some students who have never heard of this word. How could you figure out this word if you have never heard of it? Who can give them a suggestion? Darby.
Use the context clues.
What context clues would you use? How would you know?
Maybe like going to the period of it, like skipping over that word, and maybe it would make sense.
Good. What's a key word in that sentence that might tell us what hilarious could mean? Cora.
Jokes.
Jokes. Good. Since it's talking about her jokes, we know that jokes are usually funny, right? So hilarious is another word for really funny. Who wants to read this second sentence? Miguel?
The test was hard and challenging.
Challenging. Good. Who has heard of this word challenging? Who has not heard of the word challenging? If somebody has not heard of this word, how could you help them figure it out without telling them what it means? What strategy would you tell them to use? Evan.
Well, one way you could look at the context clue, well, there's a key word, it's hard.
Hard, good. So Evan saw this word hard, and so he knew that challenging probably meant that it was pretty difficult. So another strategy you could use if your context clues don't work is you can break the word up into smaller parts. And I saw Elijah do a fantastic job in this last week when he was reading and he came across this word. Who knows what this word is? Myra.
Teenager.
Teenager, good. So when you have a word like teenager, you can break it up into words that you know. So you know teen, age, and then the R on the end makes the word teenager. I want you to turn and talk with your partner about a word that you might have learned this year that you did not know last year. And I want macaronis to share first. Stars.
This might sound a little weird, but Phillips? Yes. I'm learning
Yes.
You guys never figure out that
I told you.
Last year I could never Oh yeah. It was like challenging. I can't figure out that Truefish. I could never figure that word out either. I was like, word.
Perfect. Who would like to share a word that they learned this year that they didn't know before? Mackenzie B, would you like to share? You can whisper to a partner and they can say,
Squirm.
squirm. Very good. So Mackenzie used one of our vocabulary words. Is there anybody else that would like to share a word? Tessa.
Whiz.
Whiz. Very good. And I'll have one more person share. I'm going to choose a person who's sitting up nice and straight, who's showing me that they're a good listener. Myra. Gas. Awesome. So you guys, I know, have been reading this book in class already. Who was Helen Keller? Can somebody tell me something about Helen Keller? Bradley. She was deaf and blind. Can anybody else tell me something about Helen Keller? Skyly?
She had a teacher come to teach her, like, she taught the blind kids so Helen could, like, make movements so they could understand it.
Very good. So I want to read you a couple of sentences from chapter 5. And I want to talk you through coming across words that we might not know. So listen closely. Helen stood on the porch. She felt the vibrations of the carriage coming down the lane. She stretched out her arms for her mother. Instead, a stranger walked into her arms and held her. Helen didn't like strangers. She refused to let Annie kiss her. I want to talk about the word refused. Give me a thumb up if you have heard that word before. Give me a thumb down if you're not so sure what it means or you haven't heard it. I need to see thumbs from everybody. Thumb up if you know what it means. Thumb down if you're not sure. Good. So I want somebody to tell me a context clue, and I'll read the sentences again. A context clue that they can use to figure out what the word refused means. A stranger walked into her arms and held her. Helen didn't like strangers. She refused to let Annie kiss her. Peyton.
It like means you don't want to do it. Like you turn your head.
Good. Can anybody tell me something from the sentences that let you know that that's what refuse means? Darby. Didn't. Yes, Helen didn't like strangers. I also want you guys to look at this picture. Everybody look at this picture. I know it can be kind of hard to see if you're in the back. What's going on in this picture? Somebody describe it to me. Myra, can you describe it? They might be fighting. What else do you see? Cora.
She's like turning her head away and putting her arms out like no.
Very good. So you can also use pictures to let you know what difficult words mean. Another strategy that you can use is trying to replace the word with another word. And I want you to do this in this paragraph. Ready to listen?
Mm-hmm.
The small towns of Tuscumbia looked like towns in New England. This comforted Annie, and she relaxed. She was eager to meet her new pupil. Give me a thumb up if you have heard of the word pupil before. Give me a thumb down if you haven't heard of it or you're not so sure what it means. I need to see thumbs from everybody. Bradley, what do you think? So, who has a guess as to what that word pupil means? Tatum, do you have a guess?
It's like friends or like people.
Friends or people. Anybody else have a guess? Miguel? Miguel says a pupil is something in your eye. Is he right or wrong?
Wrong. Right.
I'm hearing mixed opinions. Miguel is right, but pupil is a word that can have two different definitions and mean two very different things. So let's try replacing that word. If we know that Annie is a teacher, what word could we use in place of pupil? Listen closely. This comforted Annie, and she relaxed. She was eager to meet her new pupil. Again, if Annie is a teacher,